Hey guys, good morning everybody. Today is Friday, July 25th. Happy Friday everyone. 6:25 right now. We got market opening up in about 5 minutes now. I'm going to go ahead and mark up liquidity real quick and then we will get started shortly with our analysis for today. Got a few things here to update. Go down to the 1 hour. 30 minute. 15 minute. Going down to the 10 minute. Down to the 10 minute. And back down to the 1 minute here. All right, looks like we're good to go. All right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, July 25th. It is 6:28 right now. We got market opening up in about 2 minutes. Looking at the normal breakout for today, normal breakout looks like it might possibly be well, we'll see what happens after this candle right here. We'll know confirmation by then. But looking at the market so far, um, we've been like in a really big range, guys. This is kind of how the market's been all week. Um, I mean, it's just how the market is. There's nothing we can really do about it, but we'll kind of see if price breaks out of this area. We have a demand area down here, and we have a supply area right up here from current price. So we'll see if price pushes past this area and above. My daily bias for today is neutral to mild bullish tilt. So with that being said, we'll look for price to possibly push to the upside up here um, above the supply zone. Otherwise, if price pushes down below, we'll look for price to push lower past this area here. Okay, so looking at the original breakout momentum is going to be a buy today if anybody's looking to take that. The orb for today, we don't have the direction yet, but we'll see what happens here once we hit the 161 candle, or sorry, 631 candle. And we'll go from there. Looking over here at the overall trend, guys, it's a bit mixed over here. It's more bearish, but it's a little bit mixed. So looking over here on the 1 minute, 5 minute, and 15 minute time frames, you can see price is slightly below the pivots. Trend meter is red. Pivots are angling to the downside. So we currently have a bearish trend with regard to the short-term trend. Looking over here on the 30 minute, it's currently bearish as well. 1 hour is neutral and 4 hour is bullish. So from lower time frames, bearish up until neutral up to bullish here for the 4 hour. And we'll see what happens here when market decides to push through this area. So we got market here open now. Here's the opening price. The momentum breakout on open just pushed up right there. Let's see how far it pushed up. Pushed about 26 points. So we got a bit of a spike right there, but we'll see what happens here in a few once price continues to move along. Looks like we got a pre-market sweep right here off this higher low. And we'll see if this ends up holding. Otherwise, we'll see what happens here next. Looking over here at the news for today, we have durable goods, which was at 5:30. It was mixed news. So we had durable goods, transport month over month, positive, month over month, regular, positive, defense month over month, negative, air, negative. So mixed news for this morning. And you can see over here, price is still kind of pushing back and forth. So let's see what's here so far. Morning Ben, morning Sam, morning Barack. Barack said sell, holding on to a sell. Yeah, so Barack here is looking for possible sells here. I mean, I would be looking for some possible sells too because the overall trend here is bearish. The orb over here is starting to set up now. We're getting some increased volatility. So the only problem with this here, guys, is that if we do get the sell here for the orb, like I said, we're going to be in this demand zone right here. So it's going to be really tricky to take any sells within this lower area. So I don't know if I'll be taking any orb entry for today, but we'll see what happens. You guys can see a huge sweep right there to the bottom. So we got a huge sweep from this lower level right here. Again, if you guys want to go based off the ATR is currently very low right now, so you probably want to go for a max of 20. This price sweeps these areas here. So quick sweep right there. All right, Brock's out of his cells. Clean this up a little bit. Market's just as messy as it was, these past couple of days. We've been trying to hope that price will break out of this, crazy range that's been going on, but lately it's kind of just been stuck in this area. Hey, Lila, morning. So we got price pushing down into this demand zone. This is the orb entry, guys. If anybody's looking to take the orb for today is setting up possibly for a sell right here. Only problem again is that price is going to be stuck within this it's going to be stuck within this demand zone. So you want to be careful with entries here because if you do take an entry here, understand that price may likely get manipulated back to the upside. Price may just pull back into this demand zone and sweep right back up. Right? It just swept right there again. Basically a double sweep. See how price is rejecting directly off the demand right here? It swept again off that level right there. So I mean, feel free to take the entry here if it comes up, but I don't think it's a good entry, of course. This price is just going back and forth. We're having this huge. I wouldn't even consider this a range. This is just market chop, right? Because it's not really ranging. It's kind of just going back and forth. It's going down to these sweep areas, coming right back up. It's basically coming down, grabbing liquidity, and then swinging all the way back to the upside. Back to opening price right here, right? And even if price pushes to the upside right here, we're going to have this huge supply zone up here. Supply zone resistance, whatever you guys want to call it. Yeah, it's a bit of a mess today. We're kind of in limbo right here in between the supply demand zone right here, or support resistance, whatever you want to consider it. And price is just not pushing out of this area. Price has been within this area since last night. So since London session over here, price pulled into this mid-range, and price has not been able to get out of this range since. Plus the ATR is super low. You can see over here the ATR is currently at 17 right now. Very low ATR for market open. All right, so we got price pushing back up right here. If that's the case, you might get an orb right here at the upside. So the upper orb range is going to be at 44,959. Lower range over here is going to be at 44,903. Got two different levels of orb here. If you guys want to take that buy right there is going to be at 44,959. Again, the trend here hasn't confirmed yet for a shift to a bullish trend, so I wouldn't really look for buys right now at the moment. My long-term directional bias for today is going to be bullish, but this can obviously shift. So it shows here broad technicals are mixed neutral on the hourly, daily showing a strong buy. Momentum indicators lean bearish. So range response rather than aggressive breakout is what's going to happen today. That's pretty much exactly what's happening here, right? We're having a range and a responsive choppy market. So price just keeps going around and sweeping these areas. I wouldn't be surprised if price pushes up, sweeps this here, and pulls right back down. Or sweeps one of these levels right here and pulls right back down, right? That'd be no surprise to me there. All right, so we got price right here attempting to break past the opening range high. So like I said earlier, if you guys want to take this orb right here, it's going to be off the 44,959. So once price breaks past this area and closes, you're going to look for price to retest this 44,959 and then push back up higher. Or if you just want to take the regular orb and just ride this up higher, you can do that as well. But like I just said earlier, it's definitely a tricky move to be taking and to be following here because price is currently in the supply zone now. So price is up here. You could probably expect price to sweep this area right there and pull right back down below. And that's exactly what's happening here, it looks like. Sweep off the 44,986 and then rejection back down. All right, so Sam said he's in the sweep from the top. So Sam got into the sweep right there from 44,986. Price is now pushing down. We'll see. Orb hasn't filled yet, guys. Unless you guys took the regular orb, if you guys just took the regular normal orb, the regular normal orb did fill already and it's currently running. The retest over here is at 44,959. I'm not going to be taking this entry because, like I said, the overall trend here is still not very bullish. It hasn't confirmed here on the 15-minute yet. On the 1 minute, it's shifted to bullish trend. 5 minute over here shifted to bullish trend. The 15-minute, it's still neutral right now. So I'm not convinced to take any buys here at the moment. Sweep right there just hit for 20 points, looks like. So again, this whole week, this has kind of been the narrative, right? It's been taking sweeps back and forth as price kind of pushes through these areas. So another sweep right there filled. And we'll continue to follow here as price moves along. Price pushed up, swept out this 44,986. This is why I was not convinced to take buys here because we're in the supply zone. Price over there pushed off the supply, rejected off the liquidity right there, basically grabbed liquidity, pushed up, grabbed liquidity, just like it did down here. Price pushed down, grabbed liquidity, pushed right back up, grabbed liquidity, and then it pulled right back into this middle range. So we've been in this type of market pretty much all week, guys, if you guys have been with me. Nothing here has really changed too much. I'll still be looking to take some directional moves, but I'm going to be waiting for that confirmation, which we just don't have yet. So all right, if you guys are taking these sweeps, nice work. If you guys are not taking the sweeps, it's completely fine. I would just continue waiting for better opportunities for entry here. All right, so it looks like the orb here actually just got filled. So if you guys took the orb, it just came back, retested the 44,959 right there, and it has pushed back into profit. We'll see what happens here shortly as price continues to move along. Again, I'm not really convinced to take this here as a buy yet because the overall trend here has not really confirmed for me. What I'll be looking for here is possible high-low break and retest as price moves up higher. So for example, if price does push back up higher past this area, not exactly right here. I don't think I'll take a high-low break and retest right here, but I'll be looking for price to push up a bit higher past the sessions and then look for high-low break and retest, around these areas up here. It's just a really tricky area to be trading in, tricky area in general, just to be looking at. As you can see over here, price is having trouble getting past the supply zone, right? So you don't want to get caught in these fake outs. Yeah, Sam said watch your TP stop loss. The ATR is currently at 19. Yeah, it's still pretty slow. So here we go with the orb entry pushing up. Again, if the orb hits 30 points right here, I do highly recommend you move your stop loss and profit. Keep following here as price moves along. So we'll see if price pushes past this area again. This is a tricky area to be trading in because this is the supply. This doesn't necessarily mean price can't push up past this area and reach this upper end of supply and then sweep from there, right? So if that's the case, I mean, price can still push up, probably hit the 30 points at least for the orb right there, maybe the full TP for 40, right? This can possibly still push up and hit that area up there. before it comes back down and reverses, right? It's just this whole tricky area is that reversal could happen at any point here, right? It doesn't have to happen right here. Doesn't have to happen right here. Doesn't have to happen right here. It could happen literally where price is currently sitting right now, back into the range. And that's exactly what's happening here right now. So again, guys, I'm being patient here, not really looking to take anything here and get stuck in anything. Here are my stats for the week so far, guys. I only took one trade this week. So you guys saw the trade I took yesterday. I took one trade, locked in 31,310. So my stats for this week and for this month are great. I don't need to force any trades here, right? For the week, I'm up 31,310. For the month, I'm up 175,035. And for the year so far, currently up 638,640. So we've been in a nice upwards trend here from July. So July's been a pretty great month for us. We were good from January up until April. Then the tariff news came out. I was in a sideways, pretty much consolidation with my profits, and then started to pick back up over here in July, and we're now in a big upwards trend right there. So it's just a matter of time until we get, until we get some more confirmation here. But I'm not going to be forcing any entries here. I'm happy with my profits for the week so far. I don't know what happened to this right here. For some reason, unless it updated, it was at 30,000 earlier. Now it's at 80,000. I'll have to check my accounts. It's weird. Yeah, I don't think my trader sync is updated. I'll have to update my trader sync a little later, but it shouldn't be at 80,000 right now. I'm going to do that right now, actually. Let me go over here. Let me make sure the stats are proper. Yeah, I don't know what's up with, for some reason, trader sync's kind of been a little glitchy lately. Like yesterday when we got off the live, it said that it was like very low, and then like it said it was at like 4,000 with like five trades, and then now it went to like 30,000 after it was done uploading, and then now I just updated to 80,000, which is super weird. Unless I have trades that are still running and I didn't close them, but I'm looking at my accounts right here and they're all pretty much closed out. I don't know. I'll have to take a look at that in a few. But anyways, we had one for this week so far, guys. I've only taken one trade yesterday. We had one win off of the high-low break and retest. Haven't taken any orbs this week. The orb has actually been kind of tricky this week. It's either not filled or it's been kind of like it would like spike. Like there's a lot of like high intense volatility. So right here, it looks like the orb did not play through, guys. I didn't decide to take the orb today, so there's no entry for me there. Reason why I didn't take the orb here is because the overall trend was not aligned, right? The orb for today was bullish, and for a buy, the trend over here was more of a bearish trend on the shorter time frames. So that's why I decided not to take the orb today. I've been a lot more selective with my entries lately, especially with regard to the trend, and especially because of the current market conditions. So there's no entry for me right now. And I am still following through with this. Sam said, man, your yearly gives me shakes. Good. Damn good job, Sean. Respect. Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Sam. The thing is, I don't really look at the profits until like at the end of the week, like the totals. Like the whole yearly, it's crazy because I didn't realize I was doing that well until, I looked at the yearly results. Typically, I'm just trying to aim for green days and green weeks, right? Every day and every week, I'm trying to aim for the green, for a green box, basically. And then those profits just end up adding up over time. So. And then I think this last week, I finally re-added my personal account. The ban was finally lifted on my account, so I was able to trade my own money again with NinjaTrader, and I've been doing a lot better too. I have a lot of money in that account, so that's why my profits are looking a lot bigger. So it's been pretty solid. It's been pretty solid overall. There's no other news for today. We have, this low impact stuff happening at 10 o'clock, but other than that, there's not really too much there to work with. So with that said, I will continue looking for opportunities here for entry. If price shifts to the downside, that's completely fine, guys. Right? Ideally, I think I would like price to shift to the downside because, right, I mean, I don't really care which direction price goes, but it looks like if price does break below here, it's going to be easier to break past this demand zone and continue dropping from here, right? And the thing is, the higher time frames are bearish right now anyway. So like preferably, I just like price to come down lower. The 1 hour is bearish or it's neutral to bearish. 30 minute here is bearish. 15 minutes bearish. 5 minutes bearish. 1 minute's bearish. So if price comes below here, this is going to be more ideal for us to catch trades in this direction. I mean, ideally, I'd just like price to break out of this range. I think that's the key thing. If price can break out of that range, great. If it doesn't, then it's going to be a little tricky here. Hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what's up with my trader sync, guys. I just updated my trader sync. It still says that I'm in like, unless that number is right, and I'm just not aware of like how much I made there. Let me go over here to my actual accounts. Yeah, I don't understand where this crazy number is coming from. It says I have an open trade open for 15,000 right now, but I just don't know where that is. I think the problem here is it shows that I have a bunch of trades open, which I don't. Fix this. Um, okay. Let's do this over here. All right. Well, I think this is proper now. I don't know if this is completely right, but yeah, I kind of just updated my trader sync here. Let me show you guys. Okay, so here are my stats for the week so far, guys. Again, I was around like 32,000. This looks a little more right. I'm at 32 trades for the day, or for the week. Basically, I'm at 32,720 for the week, 176,445 for the month, and then for the year over here. Yeah, okay, this makes more sense. So looks pretty decent here. But yeah, that's my overall stats for the day and for the week so far. Like I said, I don't need to force any trades here because we had a pretty decent week so far with just that one trade yesterday. There's been a lot of trades that just came up, but I'm just not I wouldn't be in um we're just been in limbo. So like there's no trades for me to take here. I just been very conservative with the entries that I decided to take. So I'm still looking to take entries here, but I'm not really forced to take anything, right? I think that's the biggest problem that a lot of people have is you guys get FOMO. I talked about this with a lot of people. Um, a lot of this comes from like when people are trying to pass an eval or if they just get funded and they're trying to get a payout ASAP. What I always recommend to people do is to stick to your game plan no matter what, whether you're in eval phase, whether you're in a funded phase. You just want to make sure that you stick to your game plan because the one time that you start to go off track, that's when you're going to start to like when things are going to start to turn upside down. And I see it happen with people all the time. Like I see people who try so hard to pass their accounts, and then as soon as they get funded, they start to do something completely different, or they take more risk, or they increase their contract size and stuff like that, and then they ended up blowing it like super quickly. They blow it faster than they it took for them to pass it, and it's crazy. It's like a huge cycle that people go through. If you guys are looking to open an account with Apex, guys, let me see where Apex is at. Apex is 90% off right now. So this is like a perfect time to add on some accounts. If you guys want to add on an account for Apex, it's currently 90% off evals. It's only going on for 4 days. So this is like probably the biggest discount that you'll get with Apex. If you guys do want to sign up with Apex, I posted the link over here in the Discord. It's going to be right over here under the announcements. Basically, get 90% off for the first month, 80% off recurring, 1 day to pass, $50 resets. Don't use this as an opportunity to YOLO your accounts, right? I see people do this all the time. They see the promo going on, they buy like 20 accounts, and then they try to go super hard and they blow all the accounts. And then you just end up throwing away like, I don't know, how much is that? Like 30 bucks an account times 20. You basically threw away like 600 bucks there, right? So just be smart about it, guys. I see people do this all the time. When the promo comes up, they try to YOLO their accounts. Like what happens is they try to pass it right away, and then as soon as they pass it, they pay 140. So this is the worst part. I think this is the worst part right here. I see people do this almost every time this happens. They buy 20 accounts, so they spend about 600, and then they activate them for 140 each, right? 140 times 20. So now they're in the hole about 2,800 plus 600. They're in the hole 3,400, and all they needed to do was trade properly, and then they end up blown the account. So this all just goes to waste, right? The account eval and then also their activation fees just go to waste. So if you want to YOLO it, I mean, I would say just YOLO on the eval phase, but once you get to the funded, go back to whatever your trading plan was and make sure that it actually works. PC's asking if you had trades open, wouldn't you be down though? Yeah, I mean that's what I would have thought too, PC, but I don't know what's up with the trader sync. I'm not in any open positions. That's why. So I think that's why it's weird that it shows that I'm in a position and it has actual profit that's running on it. So uh, I don't know what's up with the trader sync today, but I'll have to get that sorted. I mean, it looks like it's sorted now because it's now back to 32. I think it was like 32, 31 yesterday. So. Yeah, it just gets a little glitchy on TraderSync when you're trying to sync a lot of accounts. So for me, I only sync my personal and then my Apex accounts. Before I used to sync all of the hedge fund accounts and I would sync my Tradeify. I think eventually at the end of the month I'll probably sync my Tradeify and then my Perdia and all of my other accounts. But on a daily basis, I'm just going to be syncing maybe the Apex or just my personal accounts so that I have an idea of like where it's at. I don't want it to get all glitched because it takes me forever to get it fixed. After PC said YOLO if you're already profitable. Yeah, exactly. If you have money to waste, then yeah, go ahead and YOLO it. Like for me, for example, if I needed to whatever reason pass like my Apex accounts again, I could YOLO it because I have money saved up from all my other trades and from my personal account. But for someone who's just trying to pass, YOLOing is like a really, really bad habit. Because if you YOLO your trades, then the basically the probability of you doing well after you pass the eval is like very, very unlikely. I would say it's like less than like 10%, maybe less than 1% for most people. Because if you've never traded profitably and you get a funded account, you're not all of a sudden going to be profitable, right? You're just going to trade with the same bad habits that you had prior. Yeah, exactly. Nick said also if you don't have a solidified strategy. Yeah, exactly. Nick, 100%. Nick's asking, are you still using NinjaTrader and Tradeovate? Yes, I am. I am still on NinjaTrader and Tradeovate. Shiv said, I assume if it's open, will only be in your personals as funded close automatically at the end of the trading day. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, Shiv. I was thinking about that, but now I'm looking at my personal account, and my personal account is closed. Well, it closed in profit yesterday when we took that high-low break and retest. So I don't know. I'll have to message TraderSync later and see what the problem is. I'm probably going to be stuck with NinjaTrader for a while or like forever, basically, because I run everything through NinjaTrader and I have a lifetime license with NinjaTrader. So as much as like I've been wanting to switch over to a different platform, I just learned to live with NinjaTrader and then figured out ways to trade more optimally. Like I've been using limit orders now, Nick. I don't really use market orders anymore because of the slippage. So I kind of just adjusted the strategies a little bit so I don't have to get in that market. So like for example, the MPS V2, I don't really take that anymore by itself. I take it as a break and retest so that I can place a limit order. The market orders, I've been doing market orders for a long time, but it started to get to me to that point where it started to piss me off because of the slippage and the bad entries and just stuff like that. So I've been using a lot of limit orders now with everything. I haven't seen you in a while, Nick. I don't know if you've been here or if you kind of just been behind the scenes, but yeah. Yeah, Nick said same. I don't use market orders unless I'm just using one account. Yeah, exactly. Because when you're copying like to like 40 accounts, they're all gonna get slippage, right? You're gonna have like maybe a handful that are good and you're gonna have a handful that are bad. So if, using the limit order makes a
Connection
huge,
lost.
there you go, connection lost again. That's one of the big things that I get super annoyed with Ninja, but I just learned to live with it. There's nothing I can do about the connection lost. All right, guys. So we got price over here sitting at the demand zone. Price has not broken past it yet. Looking over here at the overall trend, guys, we do have a bearish trend. So I'm going to be looking for some possible sells here. 1 minute bearish, 5 minutes bearish, 15 minutes bearish. You can see price is below the pivots. Trend meter is red. Pivots are angling to the downside. 30 minute over here is also bearish. Price is below the pivots. Trend meter is red. Pivots are angling to the downside. The 1 hour over here, price is below the pivots. Trend meter is blue, but the pivots are starting to angle to the downside. So this is more of a bearish neutral. And the 4 hour over here is still bullish, but it is shifting to the downside as well. So with that said, I'll probably be looking for some possible sells here. We don't have any sells here at the moment, but I will be looking for possible opportunities here for entry. I just need price to push out of this demand zone, right? I think that's going to be the biggest thing here. Let's see. PC said connection loss is a Replicano issue. Okay, well that's good to know. I didn't know that. I thought it was from NinjaTrader, but if it's from Replicano, then that's better because I don't want my NinjaTrader platform to be having issues. Yeah, I mean the connection loss thing has been going on forever. That's the whole reason I got caught up with the whole hedge fund thing. Like, I kept getting connection loss, and then I sent this over to NinjaTrader's compliance because I was like, you guys can't just keep disconnecting. And then that's when they saw that I was trading like, like 100 accounts, and they're like, oh, you need to register as a professional trader now. So I'm like, fuck. Well, F me then. I basically shot myself in the foot at that point. So yeah, I basically showed NinjaTrader that I was trading for so many people and now they're making me register as a professional trader, which sucks because yeah, Christian said I don't think it's from Replicano because he doesn't use Replicano and he gets the same connection loss. Okay, good to know, Christian. Yeah, so Christian actually doesn't have Replicano and he gets the same problem PC, so it seems like it's probably not a Replicano issue. Either way, I mean, it's an issue nonetheless. Wherever it's coming from, I'm still getting that issue. And I just got to be on my toes with my positions. So I got to be ready to close out of positions if, I ever get a connection lost. And I try to cover all avenues with my ATM strategy, my ATM copy and stuff like that, just in case it ever happens. But yeah, thanks, Christian. I have no idea where it's coming from. All inputs good though. So, all right, guys, we're currently in the demand zone right here. So price is pushing into this demand zone. What I'm looking for here is I'm looking for price to break and close below this area and climb down lower. I don't necessarily want to take entries within the demand zone. I also don't really want to take entries right below it because we have a sessions right here, right? We have liquidity and we have the London low and New York low right here at this same liquidity line. So what might happen here is price might come down and sweep this area. I mean, there's two different points here that may happen, right? Price may come down, sweep this area right here and push right back up, or price may sweep from this lower area right here and come right back up. If you guys want to have two shots at this, you guys can try to sweep this area here first. And then if you lose that trade, you can go ahead and try to sweep this area down here, and this will probably make it right back. Right. So I would say if you're going to take these trades here, probably take them with a 1 to 2 or a 1 to 3. This will give you more leeway to, if you screw up on this one, you can get back in on this one down here. Or if you just want to take one, I think the ideal entry would be this one down here because there's more confluence, right? We have the sweep and we have the New York high, we have the London low and New York low, plus we have the outwards demand area over here. Right. I think this here would be a clean sweep to take if anybody's looking to take it. It's going to be at 44,865. We had an MPSV2 that came up right here. It looks like Brock just mentioned. There's a couple MPSV2s here. So there's one sell signal here that came up. Price retrace confirmed right here. So this is the first MPSV2 that came up. Um, and I think there was another MPSV2 that came up right here as well. So second MPSV2. So basically two back-to-back MPSV2s right here. MPSV2, MPSV2 right here as well. All right, so price is below at the sessions right here. Let's see if price sweeps that area. If it doesn't sweep, then I'm going to be looking for some high-low break and retest below this point. Let me clean this up a little bit. So here we are down below this point. So there's one or two things that are going to happen here. Price is either going to sweep this liquidity session or price is going to break below and continue dropping from there. Nick said I've been using Rhythmic accounts on Sierra charts with Denali data. The data from Denali is very useful because I can use the level 2 data and it shows pending sells and buys waiting at certain areas. Yeah, I have that too on NinjaTrader. I just don't really use it. Um, I just don't know how to use it. I've been trying to figure out how to use order flow and stuff like that on NinjaTrader. It's just really confusing because there's not it's just I don't know, it just doesn't really make sense to me. Because I put it on my charts before, like to see market profile, and it doesn't show, it doesn't look right to me. So I don't really use it very much. Yeah, Nick said level 2 on NinjaTrader is shit and doesn't show pending orders. You know, the thing is, I have like a special one though. I'm not sure if you have the one that I have because you need a lifetime license to use order flow on here. So my level 2 is different. I only knew that because I had to look into it. Like you have to have a specific lifetime license. You can't have the monthly one or you can't have the free one on Ninja. But it still doesn't look good because the charts are so like cramped up. Maybe if I had a bigger screen, it would look better, but my screen is like a little small on my laptop. So it's been, difficult for me to even use order flow or pending orders on there. But I know what you're talking about. It is good. I know you and Barack use that. So super, super useful. Maybe in the future I might use that as another tool, or I might just, opt into book maps. I think book maps is probably the superior tool for everything. I just haven't really felt the need to jump into that. Yeah, maybe in the future, maybe I'll test it out. I know a lot of people use book maps and it's supposed to be really good, but yeah, I just haven't crossed that bridge yet. I know eventually I'll probably want to, but right now, not so much. All right, so price is broken past this area right now, guys. We're now in a very bearish trend. Price is below this point. Looks like there can be a possible sweep at this level right here, 44,863. Um, might be a small retracement, but might be a full-on sweep. I mean, who knows? But we'll see what happens here shortly. So market open right here. So it looks like the breakout for today hit, guys. If you guys took the original breakout. So the momentum breakout right here looks like it hit for 50 points. I just came back to take a look at this, but yeah, original breakout right there hit for 50 points. The orbital here obviously didn't hit for entry today. Um, I haven't taken any entries today yet. Looks like we're getting a sweep right here at this level. So price swept from the 44,863 back up. That's pushing up right there. If you would go based off the ATR, do like a 2020. All right, so sweep right there, pretty much push back up. I'll be looking for price to push back down. As it pushes back down right here, I'll look for a break and retest from this lower level. So we got price retracing up super hard. See if it comes back below this point, breaks and retests off there. And then I'll look for a possible sell entry off of this lower low right here. We'll see. Entry point right here is going to be at 44,818. So I'll probably get that set up right now just in case I want to get into that. 44,818. Looking for price to come back down to this point right here, guys. Break and retest off this lower low and come back low. We don't have a high here yet, though. So this lower low is not established yet, guys. I need price to establish a new high first before I can start looking for opportunity here for entry. Looks like Barack is done for the day. So Barack's a good day. Good for the day. I'll see you guys Monday. Enjoy the weekend. Happy hunting, people. Yeah. All right, Brock. We'll see you back here on Monday, bro. Have a good weekend. Nick said he's really only trading NQ now, too. Gotcha. I still haven't liked NQ. Um, it's just, I don't know. Thing with NQ is like, I know the volatility is nice. That's probably the best part about NQ. Very volatile. But yeah, the big spikes in price, like, I'm not a fan of it. Plus, I don't like the fact that they move in ticks. Like how the tick size is different for NQ. But NQ is good. I mean, if I wanted something very volatile, I would trade NQ. I feel like NQ is very similar to gold. Um, and I just never really liked gold. Like if you think back to the previous, like the indices days when people would trade Forex and stuff like that, I think a lot of people who like to trade gold, they kind of gravitated to NQ because it moves very similar. Moves very similar, very volatile, very quick. YM, I've always been trading US 30, so like YM is pretty much mirror image of US 30. So I just kind of been sticking with what I'm good at. But NQ is good. I've always thought about adding NQ to the list, but I don't really mess with that. Gyal said Sierra charts was so hard for me to start. Right now, there's nothing better. Thanks to Barack, I could have given up on it. Sierra has a learning curve, guys, but when you get it, you really actually get it. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Like also like I think Sierra is cool too because you can use Rhythmic accounts, right? Like initially I was like a lot of these companies were using Rhythmic accounts, not Tradeovate, so it was like it made more sense to be with uh with them. But yeah, I don't know. There's like a lot of different with all the new prop firms that are coming out, everybody's like creating their own platform. Because I don't think NinjaTrader is opening any more accounts for prop firms. All right, we got price pushing back up right here, guys. I don't know if we'll get a break and retest below here. Price is looking like it's starting to sweep back up or pull back into this range up here. So price basically faked out below here. Price pulled below, lured in the sellers, faked out, and then now it's pulling back into this upper range, which is fine. Not a big deal. I mean, I'll come back and take a look at this if it does come back down, but right now does not look like we're having anything here at the moment. Big rejection right there off the Asia low. So this looks like it might be a break and retest off the supply zone or the demand zone. Sharp rejection right there off the sessions. All right, we don't really got much going on here. All right, we're back up, guys. Again, we're just waiting for price to either stay above here or pull back below. And I was really hoping today was going to be a lot different, but it's not. It's all good. It's all good though. Like we're not going to force any trades here, guys. This is the same situation as yesterday. We kind of had like a choppy market in between. Looked like market was going to move directional, but then we ended up going into this big range, right? So initially we're like, okay, fine. If price pushes past this area, and let me just show you the scenarios here again. I was like, okay, if price pushes past this area, I'll look for some buys, right? Price never pushed past that area. It stayed within the range here. And then price pushed below here, and I was like, okay, great. I'm looking for a sell here now. A price didn't hold below this point. It just ended up creating a bigger range. So we had the smaller range right here between the supply and demand. And then now that price is broken below this point, we now have a bigger range right here. So, I mean, we're kind of just sitting tight right now and waiting for this here to do something, but not really looking to force anything here. It's basically the same scenario as yesterday. The thing is, I'm not done trading it because yesterday, the entry started coming up a little later in the day. So this doesn't necessarily mean that price is going to be stuck within this area. Price can easily come back down here at some point and, obviously continue pushing from there. See, Jonathan's asking, Sean, are you going to be opening back up spots again for managing people's capital? Yes, but not, I don't have a date yet set for that. So I still haven't set for the Series 3, guys. I mean, obviously I'm like I'm taking my time. The reason why I'm taking my time with the Series 3 is because once I do register as a professional trader, my costs go up like 10 times. Like right now, I'm paying $7 a month for data for YM. Once I register as a professional trader, it goes up to about $700 a month. So you see the big difference there. I don't want to pay extra for things that I don't really need to pay extra for, at least not yet. Um, I'm kind of waiting for, because what happens is like every couple months they ask you to verify whether you're a professional trader or non-professional. I'm waiting for them to verify first because once they verify, I'll be cool for like a good 6, 7 months where I don't have to transition to professional trader subscriber status because everything goes up. My trading view is going to go up. Like right now, I think I'm paying like a couple $100 a year for my premium. Once I register as a professional trader, it's going to go up to like a couple $1,000 a month. So it's like all the costs go up for me once I register as professional. So I'm kind of like I'm trying to milk it as much as I can right now. But once I get the renewal for my status, then I will take the test and then I will register and then I'll start managing people's funds again. It's just it's just a headache once you like as much as it sounds like a good idea to register as a professional trader, it really isn't. The only good part is that I'll be able to manage people's capital and I can take a percentage of everyone's profits, but the real downside is just the overhead costs of trading. The overhead costs go through the roof because they start charging you a crazy amount for everything. Let's see, y'all said yeah, for Sierra free copying as well for Quant Tower, multiple instances. Yeah, they have a lot of tools on Sierra and on Quant Tower and stuff like that. So I've been wanting to use them. But right now, all my accounts are on Tradeovate, so it doesn't make sense for me to switch over. I wouldn't be able to log into those accounts on there unless they're Rhythmic. All right, guys, we're still sitting right here at the demand zone. Nothing's really going on here. Like I said earlier, guys, I'm waiting for price to kind of push above or below where it's currently at. Looking over here, the trend is not bullish, so I'm not really looking to take buys right now. If you look over here on the 1 minute, price is still bearish. 5 minute price is bearish. 15 minute price is bearish. 30 minute price is bearish. 1 hour price is bearish neutral. And 4 hour price is currently bullish right now. So with that being said, we do have a high-low break and retest possibly setting up right here, but it's not going to be one that I'm really looking to take because, for obvious reasons, we don't have a bullish trend here. If you guys do want to take this as a high-low break and retest, I'll mark it up for you guys. It's going to be right here at 44,920. You can look for price to break above here, look for the retest right there, and then push back up higher from that point. So we're back in this range now, guys. Price is stuck within the same range that we talked about earlier. So if you kind of just back up a little bit and you look back from where price has moved from, you can see that this here is all just noise, right? It basically was just a fake out. If you look over here, price has been in this range since London session. So basically from midnight up until now, price has been within this range. Everything outside has been a fake out, fake out, pull back into the range, push below, fake out, pull back into the range, fake out, huge fake out right here, and then back into the range where it was earlier. So if you guys are looking to take that high-low break and retest, possible entry right here, if price breaks and closes past 44,920, look for that retest to follow it. If that's the case, then see where this goes from there. Yeah, right here at 44,920. So if you guys are looking to take that, this is where your pending limit order would be. I personally am not going to be taking this here because the overall trend is not bullish. Overall trend here is actually still pretty bearish. It's just the 1 minute starting to shift up, but I don't really trust the move here, to be honest, because this thing can easily just pull right back down into the range. All right, so what you need to have here, if you're looking to take this high-low break and retest, is you need this to fill on this current candle right now. If this here doesn't fill on this candle, then it needs to be canceled. All right, so let's see what happens here. Looks like this here is probably not going to fill, guys. We're currently at the 20-second mark, so if it doesn't fill right here on this candle, this high-low break and retest needs to be canceled. There's an MPSV2 which is running right now. I think it already hit. Yeah. There's actually an MPSV2 which came up right here, and it just hit full TP for 40 points. Again, I'm not looking to take these market orders anymore, so I'm not really looking to get into these MPSV2s, but it looks like the MPSV2s have actually been hitting pretty nicely these past couple days because price hasn't really been pulling back for the retest. So we had an MPSV2 right here, full TP, MPSV2 right here, full TP, another MPSV2 right here, full TP. We had a buy signal, price pushed above, retraced on these red candles, confirmed on this green one right here, and then shot straight through. Yeah, Sam said was a solid MPSV2, but he missed it. Yeah. It's just tricky. There was red flags here. Price was in the demand zone. And then also we had the sessions right here, the Asia low. So just, overall, just tricky area to be trading at. So I don't blame you for missing it. I wouldn't even be looking for entries around that point, especially because the trend here hasn't really confirmed either, right? All right, so we got price above right here. We'll see if it holds above this area. If it does hold above this area, then we may look for possible opportunities for entry. I personally, I just don't think I'm going to have any entries for today, guys. I mean, I'm looking at the chart right here. I'm looking at the 15 minute. In order for me to take any buys, I need this 15 minute to close above the pivots, right? I need to close above the pivots and hold. Right now, price isn't really holding above the pivots. What I might see here, if I'm going to be taking entry, is another pullback down. So the only way I'll be looking to take entries here is possibly if price pulls back below the demand zone and continues down lower from here. Right. I don't think I'm going to have any opportunity here for a buy, guys. Just being realistic, because I don't think the 15 minute is going to push above there. So if you look over here on the 15, it's very bearish right now, right? In order for me to take any trades for a buy, I need this to be above here. So it needs to be above 44, we'll say 44,960. It needs to hold above this area. Looking at price over here, that means price would have to push into this supply zone and get out of this area, which I don't think is going to happen. So, I mean, being realistic within the next 30 minutes, I don't think this is going to be the case where price pushes past here and pushes up higher, right? Because I'm going to be looking for entries up here. So the only way for me to take a sell here or any entry in general is I need price to knock back down and stay below here. Because if that's the case, then we have a better opportunity here for price to stay below the pivots, right? So if you look over here, if that's the case, then it'll just make more sense because we need price to stay below the pivots here across the 1 minute, 5 minute, and 15 minute. We don't have that quite yet, so it's going to be a matter of time until we can confirm that. Yeah, Kelsey didn't even notice it was busy hunting sells. Yeah, same here. I'll be looking for this to come back down, guys. The only way I'll be able to take an entry is if we get something down below. Looks like we're getting another sweep right here. So sweep off the liquidity. You guys want to base it off the ATR. The ATR is currently 19 right now, so that's a sweep right there. So it's a sweep, but it was a sweep that was out in the open. There was no confirmation here with like any other opportunities for confluence. All right, let's see what we got here. We got price coming back down, but we're still at the demand area. So we still got 30 minutes in the market left, guys. I'm not done trading yet. I'm still looking for price to come back below this point. Again, like I said, I'm only going to be looking for price to come below this point for me to look for some sells. I'm not really looking for buys today. I think we're not going to have enough time for us to push above. Yeah, I mean, realistically, just looking at this here, I don't think price is going to push back above. If anything, it's going to be a temporary push up. Um, yeah, like a very temporary push up. Or if it doesn't go anywhere, we might just get a range here down the middle. It's another thing too, right? I guess we'll have to see. All right. So, yeah, it looks like price here just going back in the range. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. It looks like price here is just kind of going to sit in the range for a bit, waiting for it to possibly move back below, but the volatility here is starting to get a bit slower. Yeah, I think ideally the sells here are still going to make more sense. 30 minutes bearish, 1 hour is bearish, 15 minutes bearish, 5 minutes bearish. 1 minute is kind of in limbo, going back and forth. Let's take a look at the daily outlook. Range scalp, 45.35. Price never reached that point. 44.902. Price got close to there. Yeah, for my daily outlook, I don't even have anything that I would work with either. Prices kind of push past those areas. So again, guys, I'm just waiting. Realistically, I'm waiting for price to pull below this area. Until price pulls below this area, there's not really going to be much for me to be interested in for the most part. Let's see. Sam said no major liquidity below. It's going up according to me, but structure is bearish. Yeah, exactly. I'm looking at the structure, Sam. That's why I'm like mainly looking for it to come back down. But like you said, there's just not really much down below. I do have some liquidity zones down here, but like you said, there's not really much, there's not major liquidity down here. It's kind of just these regular liquidity zones until price gets down to this next level down below for supply or demand, actually, which is what I was hoping for. I was hoping like, okay, price pulls down below here. We get some opportunities for a sell, and then price pushes down lower to the next demand zone. But the market here is super slow, so I don't think we're going to have much momentum to push price below there. There's no catalyst right now. There's no news events coming up today, so we don't really have anything to push price or pull price below. Um, Man, this thing is funny. It's funny how much Trump and Powell hate each other, right? Like every day, it's like it's either Trump is going to fire Powell, and then immediately after, he's not going to fire Powell. So it's I don't think Powell's going to get fired. I think Powell's going to finish out his term. But it seems like almost every week, Trump says that we're going to find a way to fire Powell. And I mean, it just throws people off. He's basically pressuring Powell to lower rates, but he's not lowering rates because inflation's still pretty high and, the debt's still pretty high. So I don't know. We'll see. But it's always funny. Like everything that happens in politics, guys, every week is kind of seems like a little circus in a sense because there's always something going on. Right? There's tariff news going on, there's Fed news going on, there's inflation news going on, there's recession news going on, there's wars going on, there's so many things going on. Like every weekend we come back and there's something new to be worried about, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It kind of puts people on their toes and it puts the market on its toes as well. The only problem is that we don't have much of a directional continuation. Like the market here is kind of all over the place because of news like that. We don't necessarily have anything going in a direction. Yeah, Shiv said love-hate relationship. It's a good thing, it's a bad thing. It's a good thing because we have volatility in the market, but it's a bad thing because we don't really have much direction. Price is just kind of always all over the place. Like if you look over here at YM, let's just look at YM on the higher time frame, like the 4 hour. See how like crazy the market is right here? Like, yeah, we had a nice stride over here during June. And then now we've been like in the super choppy market from like, but the thing is we've been able to make money in this market. So this is a good thing. Like we don't necessarily need a fully directional market, but it's not very consistent. You can see over here, it like moves up right here from like April up until May, and then it just kind of consolidates for a while. And then something happens with the tariff news, and then it pushes back up. So again, right here, see how price is going sideways? We have the tariff news coming up first week of August, right? So this is going to go sideways probably until August, and then it's going to push probably in another direction once we hit to the first week of August. Because we got the tariff news coming, and that's, obviously that's always a big thing. So we'll see. Let's see. Y'all said held up on the sell from 721 open. Gotcha. So y'all's been in the sell since 721 from the sweep. Okay, so you got in from the sweep right there. You've been holding on to it. Yeah, hopefully it dumps a little further, y'all. Hopefully it dumps further down below and we'll be able to ride that down with you. I'm still looking for entries here, but you guys can see the market's super flat. These candles are not doing anything. The best case scenario here is price has a sharp drop right here, and then it continues dropping, and then we can maybe catch something down below here. Right, price is starting to squeeze right here, so with price squeezing like that, it's going to be prepping for a breakout. It's just a matter of time until it breaks out. Yeah, Sam said good for market. Just need to adjust risk reward. Looking at sweeps for 2060, rewarding. Yeah, 1 to 3 could be good. If you're taking those riskier sweeps. Here we go again. Price is still going back and forth, still pushing up. Like ideally, I don't want price here to push down, but it kind of just goes back and forth. And then when we expect it to come down, it just comes right back up. So we got price just kind of sitting here right now, guys. All right, we're getting a big spike up right now, guys. We're getting a big spike up back up to this supply zone. All right. Looks like I'm probably not going to get an entry today, guys. I'll keep watching for you guys though. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hop into the chat. I mean, looking over here at the trend, or I mean, maybe I might get a buy entry here. The 15 minute is now starting to push to the upside, so who knows? We have about 9 minutes left on this candle. As we get closer to 6:40 or 7:45, if this here ends up closing above this area, like pretty high up, then maybe I'll be able to take a buy entry here. I mean, it's a big maybe. Looking over here at the trend again, let me just go ahead and take a look at the overall trend. So the 1 minute has now shifted to a bullish trend. It's completely in a bullish trend. The 5 minute is also bullish right here. So 1 minute, 5 minute bullish trend, 15 minute is shifting to bullish trend right there. 30 minute is shifting into a neutral trend. Same with the 1 hour over here. It's been neutral pretty much for the past day, basically. And the 4 hour here is bullish. So if that's the case, everything here is going to line up for a bullish trend, right? So who knows? I mean, if price pushes up higher, maybe I'll be able to look for opportunity here for entry. If you guys are looking to take a high-low break and retest, there's going to be a possible opportunity right here. It would have to fill on this current candle right now, but if it doesn't, then it has to be canceled. So there's a possible high-low break and retest. Or sorry, I take that back. There isn't. A high-low break and retest would have happened right here, but it already broke past it. So never mind. I'm just looking for any ideas here. We do have an MPSV2 that's currently running. So we had a buy signal here, price retraced down right here, broken close above right here. So this is the MPSV2 currently running in profit. The MPSV2 has actually been on fire today. If you guys can see, it's been pretty much hitting every single setup. There's one right here, MPSV2, one right here, MPSV2, right here, MPSV2. And then another MPS V2 right here. The 30 points already hit, so stop loss should get moved in profit, and price is still climbing up a bit higher from here. I'm gonna clean this up a little bit so I have some space. Okay, so we got price pushing up right now. There's an A++ setup right there too, running alongside. So 40 points right there hit for MPS V2. The MPS V2 has been on fire today, guys. I'm getting a little tempted to take it, but I kind of want to stick to my game plan here. I want to stick to my limit orders. But looking at the MPS V2, pretty much every MPS V2 hit today. There's one right here, one right here, one right here, and then one more right here. Price is now at the supply zone. Yeah, price is now at the supply zone here. Ben is asking, does it matter if the buy signal has a red candle? So no, not for the MPS V2. MPS V2 is fine because you're going to be looking, you just wouldn't count this as a retracement, right? So it's okay to have this here as momentum, but you wouldn't count it as a retracement. So you'd have to wait for another red candle to follow up after it. So it doesn't matter for the momentum, but this wouldn't count as, momentum plus retracement. Yeah, no problem, Ben. This doesn't happen very often though. Like you'll see these candles come up every like once in a while. Usually what happens here is that price is just it's in limbo. Like so the reason for this usually happening is price was up green and then at the last second it pulled down red. That's why it closed red at the last second. Which happens. So you're not going to see that pattern come up too often, but when it does happen, it's still valid as momentum. Just can't confirm it as a retracement. All right, so we're getting a strong rejection right here off the supply zone. Yeah, so strong rejection right there. Looks like we're pushing up higher. We don't have a low here yet, so this higher high hasn't been established. Yeah, once this higher high is established, this could be a possible opportunity for high-low break and retest. The only problem is that it's within the supply zone right here. So, I mean, obviously, you want price to break past that area. 740 right now. So, like I said earlier, guys, if this 15-minute closes above the pivots, then we might be in game for a buy here. Like this might be a pretty nice opportunity for us to start writing this up. I know I've got like 15 minutes to take something, but I mean, we'll see. I'll keep following it here. Keep following to see if we have anything here that kind of lines up with what we're looking for. All right, Gyal's all done for the day. So Gyal locked in 2R for the day, so nice work. And we'll see you back here on Monday. So Gyal's done. And if you guys want to wrap this up as well, I mean, feel free. I'll keep looking here for entries, guys. I'm still not done yet. 741 right now. Again, I'm going to be waiting for any possible opportunities here for me to get into some possible buys here, but nothing here at the moment. Yep, no problem, y'all. See you back on Monday. Have a good weekend. Chris said sweep at 44,986. Yes, so this could be a possible sweep right here, Chris. The only problem with this being the sweep, well, I mean, obviously the trend is shifted, right? So that's going to be the biggest thing to look out for. But yes, this is a possible sweep area right here. This could be a possible sweep right there. The only thing, like I said, though, is that the trend here is starting to shift on like all the other time frames. So that's why I'd be a little careful because this might be a breakout area for price. 1 minute's bullish, 5 minutes bullish, 15 minutes bullish. Like if this was all still bearish, then I'd be all for that sweep, right? But because these are starting to shift, plus the 4 hour is bullish, looks like on the higher time frames, it's kind of swung up. Let's go over here to the 1 hour, 4 hour real quick. Like the 4 hour is like this is going to be the real factor here because you can see how price was pushing up. It kind of retraced down for like maybe a day or two, and then now it's rejecting off the pivot and pushing back up. So whatever bearish moves that were happening for the past week or so were probably just temporary, and the 4 hour is leading and it's pushed back to the upside. So yeah, it's a tricky entry. I mean, if it was more one-sided, I'd want to jump into that with you, but because it's like so tricky right now with regard to the overall time frame and overall trend and stuff like that, um, I would take it with a grain of salt. Or if you would take it there, I would take it with a very minimal risk. So, all right, possible sweep right here, guys. I'm not in this sweep right now, but this is a possible sweep. I probably wouldn't go for the full 40. I'd probably just go for a 2020 based off the ATR because the ATR is at 16. The volatility is very low. And we'll see. Ideally, I think prices want to go up though. So I'll follow it there. We'll come back and take a look at that in a few. But ideally, I would be looking for a possible buy here because of the shift in trend. All right, so pretty much nothing happening here, guys. Market's just flat. It is Yeah, it's not doing anything. All right, let's see if the sweep here ends up pushing through. Well, let's see if it pushes above. The thing is here, so I was looking for a high-low break and retest, but in order for me to take that high-low break and retest, I need the high here to be established, a low to be established, and price to break above it and continue up higher from there. So I'd be looking for my entry right there. Only problem is we don't have a lot of time left, right? 7:46 right now. My cutoff for trading is 8 o'clock. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. All right, guys. We got price kind of just sitting right here. If there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to hop into the chat. We have a higher high right here, which is currently pending. It has not confirmed yet. What I'm looking for here is I'm looking for price to confirm it. Once it does confirm it, I'll look for possible entry here for a break and retest. Again, only problem here is that we're getting close to 8 o'clock, which is my cutoff for trading. So until we have, or I mean, unless we have some nice volatility push here, we're probably not going to get anything here to come up. The candles here are very small, as you guys can see. The ATR has dropped down to 14. The ATR is super down right now. It's down to 14. So let's see. Let's see. Sam said, I hate when I'm against you, Sean. You're looking for a buy, right? Yeah, I'm looking for a buy too. So I think we're on the same page, Sam. I'm not looking for a sell here. I'm looking for a buy. I'm just looking for price to establish a low. Well, I mean, obviously, I don't want it to stop you out, but yeah, I'm looking for it to establish a low. So I guess that's what you mean. Um, because yeah, we have the higher high right here. In order for this high for it to be established for me, I need this to actually come down a little bit. It doesn't have to come down a lot, but just enough for me to confirm, the break and retest there. Yeah, so I'm not sure where you got in from, Sam. I know you're in for a buy, I believe, right? So you might have gotten in from, I'm assuming right here, going for 15 points, no? So you're almost at your target right there. Gotcha. Okay, you bought and out with 15. Solid. Solid move right there. And this was a pretty calm week. I was expecting it to be a little more crazy because of the news events, but yeah, pretty calm week. Let me check the news events for next week. This is considered Fed week, I think, right? Yeah. It's third week of July. Same. One, two, three, four. Actually, this is the fourth week. I forget July is a long month, so I think NFP is next week. We have the first right there for August. Here, let's see. I'm gonna check the news calendar for next week. Yeah, okay. So next week is NFP. So the week of June, the week of July is basically done with for the most part. So again, like I said before, guys, every week is like slightly different, right? We have a very volatile week, we have a ranging week, we have a consolidating week, and then we have an average week, right? This is more of so if you look over here for my stats for the month, we had a very volatile week for NFP. It wasn't like super great. It was kind of like back and forth, but it was volatile. Then we have had a very directional week for week two, which I had a bunch of wins here. And we had a bit of a ranging week over here from week three. And then now we had a consolidating week over here for week four, right? So you guys just got to think of that in a monthly aspect, right? Every week is going to be slightly different. That's why for this week, I didn't really have many trades. There's opportunities that came up, and there's a lot of good and bad opportunities, but I only took one trade yesterday, which is right here. And I didn't really take anything today, didn't take anything on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So with NFP next week, I'm expecting it to be a very volatile week. It's either going to be very good or it's going to be very bad. So just, be cognizant of that when you guys do take entries because it's kind of a weird week because it's mostly July and then on Friday it's going to be August 1st, which is going to be NFP. So the week's going to be kind of thrown off because July is a long month. It's 5 weeks instead of four. So I'm okay with that. Again, right here, guys, so we do have the low here, which is established. Again, if I'm going to look for possible opportunity here for entry, which I'm probably not going to. So like now looking at this here, guys, price is a little too high. This is why I'm going to be a little cautious about this here for a high-low break and retest. Mainly because price is going to break and retest, but once price reaches the sessions up here, right, we have the Asia high. At this point, price can easily reverse from that point, right? We might be able to get the high-low break and retest, but price may get to this point and then reverse back down. Or I mean, who knows? Price may break above it, hit TP, and then reverse back down, right? There's a lot of different opportunities here that may play out. Um, let's take a look at the overall trend real quick. So obviously 1 minute's bullish price is above the pivots, trend meters green, pivots are angling up. 5 minute over here as well, price is way above the pivots, trend meters green, pivots are angling up. Looking over here on the 15 minute, this is probably my main concern right here. Price is above the pivots. It's attempting to continue up higher, but there's no confirmation that it's actually going to stay up here just yet. This can be a fake out or it can just be temporary. We don't really have that confirmation there yet. So with that being said, I mean, there's a possible high-low break and retest that may be coming up right here. I'll keep watching it, but the odds of me taking this as an entry are going to be very unlikely. Also because the ATR is extremely low, right? You look down at the ATR currently at 13 ATR. So again, if you guys are looking to take entry here, I mean, we could follow it a little bit here. So there's opportunity there. It's going to be at 4502, 45,002. I'll see. I'll just have to watch it. If the volatility here starts to pick up quite a bit, then okay, maybe I'll get into it. If it stays flat like this and it fills with a slow moving candle, then obviously not going to be one that I'd be likely to want to mess with. Yeah, the volatility is not super high here. It's actually pretty low. I gotta see how this here closes. If this here closes and it closes pretty nicely up here and then it comes back down, then okay, great. I'll look for possible opportunity there. If it's like stuck right here at the line, not even gonna think about it, right? We want to have some volatility there. Thing is, I'll have the stop loss get moved in profit at 30 right here, so we do have some space before it reaches that, farther end. But we'll see. Okay, I already don't like the price action here. You can see how it's kind of just sitting right here at the line. I don't like that. Yeah, it does not look like we're gonna get an entry here, so probably not gonna be one that I'm gonna be taking at all. Let's see, we got one more candle right here. Okay, so the volatility on this one's a little better. Looks nicer. Let's see, we got 30 seconds left on this candle. I'm just trying to look at the price action, see how the candle here is moving, if it looks nice, if it doesn't look nice. I don't like how it's pulling down again right here. I don't like that sharp pullback down. No, I think I'm going to sit out of this, guys. If you guys want to take it, feel free to take it. This is going to be a high-low break and retest. It's going to be at 45,000 four. That's going to be where the retest is going to be at. If you guys want to take it at your own risk. I'll just watch it with you guys here. So yeah, that the price action there sucked. You can see right there, it closed right on the line and then it opened below it. So not exactly my type of setup. But all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. Let's see, Sam said 44,934 FEG 1 minute may buy if it comes and rejects. 44,934. It's a little farther down there, right? So I'm glad I skipped out on this position. You guys can see right here. It's doing exactly what I was worried about. I said if price ended up sitting around this area right here, it's probably going to fake out, right? And that's exactly what's happening here. I mean, this could easily just push back up, but I would hate to be in this position right here and then ending my Friday with a loss, right? So I'm glad I didn't take that position there. I'm good with this here. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Again, here are my stats for the week and for the month and for the year so far. So I only took one trade yesterday. It was one trade over here for a high-low break and retest. I locked in 32,720. These are my profits for the month so far for July, 176,445. And then here are my profits for the year so far. So the year so far, I'm currently at 590,580. You can see here how price kind of pushed up pretty nicely for me from January up until April when the tariff news came out. I had some wins, I had some losses. Price of this is my curve right here. I just kept going back and forth up until July. So basically, for a couple months here, it was just kind of a lot of limbo. And then June over here started to pick up a little bit. In July here, we start to really take off back into the upwards trend. So overall, this was pretty solid for my equity curve for the year. And I'm just trying to keep this up. I mean, my main goal here is really, like I said earlier, I want to have green days, right? Green boxes. So you can see over here from June, I had a couple red boxes, but I still closed the month in some green. My main goal here is to just keep the green boxes coming, right? I've lowered my risk. I'm taking more trades than I usually take. Um, it's just the orb hasn't been coming up for me lately because the price has kind of been back and forth. So it's all good. No entries for me today. Again, like I said, guys, this is not the best market to be trading these directional strategies in. If anything, sweeps are going to be your best friend in these types of markets, but it's really hard to tell because price here just keeps faking out. It's been stuck within this range pretty much all day. Every time it pulls out of it, it just fakes out, right? Price pulled out right here, faked out back into the range. Price pulled out down here, faked out right back into the range. Price pulled out again right here, fake out back into the range, right? Nothing new here, guys. It's a lot of back and forth, a lot of range, a lot of nothing. But all right, guys, I think that's it for the day. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Discord. It is about to be 8 o'clock right now. This is my cutoff for trading. If you guys want to keep trading, I probably would recommend not to. The ATR is currently at 14 right now. I'm not expecting it to go up any higher. It's probably going to stay at 14, below 20 for sure for the rest of the day. Reason why I say that is because there's not much news going on today, right? There's no other catalyst to push price around. Everything is pretty much done. I think a lot of people are preparing for NFP next week, so that's going to be something to look out for. Yeah, if anything, just call it a week, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Come back refreshed, and then next week we're going to have NFP to deal with. But all right, guys, I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, have a great weekend, guys.